Hello there everybody and welcome back to episode 17 of the Iceland Takeover. I'm Josh with TBM Games and today I've got a very nice double episode for you. We've got Breidablik in the league, as I mentioned in my previous video. That's where we're going to stop. However, by happy coincidence, we also got drawn against them in the fourth round of the Icelandic Cup. So I think I'll just play these games back to back and we'll see if we can do the double over them, just one after the other. We have, as you can see, played 3 games since the last video. We played one against IA, which we managed to get a nice 3-1 win. Alexander getting us off on a flyer. Nice little crossing from Skog, headed in near post. Very nice. Very nice. Sadiku got his debut goal for us. I have had to start using him as well due to some defensive errors. That was an absolute thunderbolt of a goal. I absolutely loved seeing that. We did also have, we scored an own goal, I should say, which was very good, very good. Looked unlucky, like it possibly could have been Alexander's, but oh well. We did also then concede, which was a touch unfortunate. It's just poor from the centre backs. They could have done better, but it's not the end of the world. So that's obviously put us into a good position. We then played against HK, convincing 4-2 win, though we did go 2-0. Oh no, sorry, 2-0 up. I keep looking at that back to front. We went 2-0 up. Alexander getting the first 2 goals. So Sverrisson cleared up through and a nice little tap in, easy as you like. He got his second with, again, just a nice little Mikkelsen with the assist, I believe. Yeah, just drag it back, smash it into a roof at net. They sort of pulled one back, which, again, this just pretty much... Actually, no, it's not the one I was thinking of. Looked like it was poor keeping, possibly shouldn't have been beat at the near post. Alexander got a penalty because he was on his hat-trick, he was allowed to take it. Obviously, he then scored a hat-trick. They made it 3-2 with this. I don't really remember this one. Oh, yes, I do. An absolute screamer from outside the box. And then Mikkelsen, instant response to make it 4-2. Game over. Very nice. And last but not least, we had a game against KA. Hegeler with a penalty. Again, nothing too special. Reasonably routine penalty. Bottom corner. Sorted. Sadiku with another goal. I've been playing him on the right wing and dropping Borison back to the right back position, which I feel he's better in. It gives us that extra bit of defensive solidity, which we've been lacking, he says, as I've shown you a goal of little clip of us conceding, but you know, it is what it is. I have had some bad news since then. Not an injury for once, actually. I'm just showing you. We've had Arnason is out for the next week, so I think he'll miss both of these games, and Goodnison is also out for the next 2 weeks. Not ideal, but that's fine. Even though the transfer window has closed, my board have accepted bids for 2 players. One being Sverrisson. No, 155 grand. It's the highest transfer offer we've ever received as a club. So, and given the financial situation, I'm not exactly in a position where I can turn down that kind of money for a player, especially one that's just hit 30. I mean, I know I'd have been able to get another 2, 3, possibly even 4 years out of him, but yeah. And the other one is Christiansen's gone. Again, we got 98 grand for him, and I didn't want to accept either, but they're both in the 30s. The board accepted them right off the bat, and though I have the final say, they were both kicking off dramatically when I tried to block it in the first place, so I figured it's not worth it. I'll bite the bullet, and I suppose it'll just force me to try and use some of my youth players to, you know, try and progress. One other issue that I had, as you may have noticed there, is I've had to put in another loan for Alexander. He has started scoring for me recently. He's now on 5-5 in the league with 3 assists. Fantastic form, considering he started so slowly. But turns out, when I first offered to loan him, I obviously wasn't paying too much attention to the dates, and I had it. I think he was due to finish on the 14th of June, which ordinarily in most leagues is the end of the season. And I didn't twig that obviously the Icelandic season is 6 months out of whack, so now he's on the verge of leaving. I've put in another offer, they've accepted it, so I'm waiting for it to officially go through. I'm waiting for him to accept it, and then we'll have him for the next 7 months, and that should hopefully see us through the season. Be very concerned if we don't. Fortunately, the Sverrisson deal hasn't gone through yet, so I do still have him for this game, but I imagine between this one and the next one, he is going to leave, and there's not going to be a right lot I can do about it. Lennon is back, though I am tempted to keep Mikkelsen playing because he's been doing quite well recently. Same with Sadiku. Like I say, he's had a few goals and assists recently, but that's the bench, isn't it? That's fine. Yeah, so I don't know. The team seems to be in decent form at the minute. I'm sort of a bit wary of changing it for the sake of changing it. I do think I might try and use Arneson though as my new holding midfielder. He's the guy from last season. I tended to play him sort of in a mixed bag around defence because he can sort of play in majority of positions, and he likes to play as sort of, well, he can naturally play there, and he is reasonably okay at it. I mean, his anticipation's not brilliant, but you know, I'm hoping I can kind of mould him into being the next Christiansen, or if not, over the next few seasons have him develop enough that I can sell him for a solid amount of money. Anyway, so on to today's game against Breidablik. Let's see if we can keep it up. I think I may have forgotten to mention we are currently top of the league, as you may have seen right at the beginning of the video on the first page that I showed you. We're just above KR, as you can see there. We're 1 point above as it stands, but that's obviously including this game, so that could still change yet. I'm very confident that we can keep this run of form going, even despite losing the 2 midfielders. I think as long as I can keep Alexander up front and Mikkelsen and Sadiku sort of nail down their positions, then I think I'm going to be in a genuinely good position going forward for the rest of the season, especially considering we're about a third of the way through. Yeah, I'm reasonably happy. We're obviously not doing as well as we did last year because we've already lost a match. We only lost 1 all season, and that was at the end. But okay, Alexander, unlucky. One thing I would always like more on Football Manager is to see strikers doing more against defenders. Like, even if they just showed an animation for a fake shot, for example, just try and trick them rather than just sort of them all running in a straight line. I don't know. Maybe it's something they can potentially work on for a future update. So it's just been a bit of a pet peeve for me that the players don't really run like an actual player does. That was a bit poor from the keeper. I feel like he should have done better, tried to catch it at least. Oh well, they have a corner. Very good, very good. Another slight change I have made to the team since maybe the last video, one before, I can't remember. I don't think I've mentioned it yet anyway, is I have actually altered the tactics of the team because I had a little bit of a dig, and it turns out that our defenders aren't as quick as the average striker in the league. So as a result, I've decided to start playing them a little deeper to try and compensate for that, so that they can't sort of be beaten on the break anymore. And the result of that seems we don't seem to get caught on the break that much anymore, which is helpful. We only really seem to concede from set pieces, which is obviously still a concern, but I am looking to try and fix that in training. We're really struggling in midfield today. Alexander, very unlucky there. We're not seeming to get many shots off, and we're really giving away possession quite unnecessarily, I think. We're struggling to land crosses as well, so maybe I have to mix things up a little bit. I might have to bring Lennon on. Bit of a... Oh, flipping it. Well, I guess that's going to force my hand a bit. Is there somebody else I can bring up? No, it's just Lennon who can play on the left. That's unfortunate. About on the right? No. Well, there you go. Looks like I'm bringing Lennon on. Okay, so we've got Sverrisson and Paula are feeling a bit nervous in the central midfield. That's sort of worrying. I don't know if they're just feeling a little bit overrun. I'm really hoping it's not just because Christiansen's gone, because if it is that, then my plan for the rest of the season is definitely going to go up in flames. So they're sort of just like playing it around us at the minute. My midfield just isn't really putting up much of a fight, and I think what I might do is just drop it to positive. I know that almost sounds counterintuitive, changing it from attacking, and of course we concede instantly. Fantastic. This isn't going to go good. This is going to be a bad game. Bad. Right, okay. Let's get some next level management going on here. My management's not paying off. I might as well just do it for the defence as well. Nothing. Okay, who's having a bad game? Sverrisson is. Hope that's not him already mentally clocking out. Could really do without that. So what I might do is play De Paula up there, bring on Hardison. I know it's all three of my subs, but if I just have that bit of a shake-up, hopefully that could make things a bit tastier for me. Not that I think it will, but hey, you never know. Again, I have... Oh, you can obviously see I've slowed the game down to make it a little nicer to watch, a little easier to commentate on. The game does last a little longer, and as a result the videos are also going to be a little bit longer. But I don't know, I feel like it's just easier than just watching it all zipping about like a pitch full of Sonics. So... Okay, so we're at 60 minutes, nothing's really happening. Nothing's really changed in terms of our possession stats. I think we are slightly more than we were last time I mentioned it, but yeah, we just don't seem to be closing them down. Oh, that was well in there. Go on, Skog. Very good. But, oh no. I'm starting to get a little bit uncomfortable right now. Okay, yeah, let's cross in. Very good. Was that a corner? Yeah. We're retaining the possession. They really are, because we're getting absolutely none of the ball here. I don't know if it's a case of I might just need to try and change formation completely for the next game. Go on, Alexander, put him through. Oh, Hardison. Poor. Absolutely terrible. I don't understand. Again, that's possibly something else I'd like to see changed in a future game, is when... Oh, of course, Anderson's injured. Yeah, so in future games, I'd like to see, you know, when strikers get put through one-on-one with the keeper, them actually just not hit it straight into his hands. It just seems to be every single time. I very rarely see strikers just finish one-on-one, which I know it's possibly supposed to be weighted in the keeper's favour, but I'd like a bit of a variation, at least show us making the keeper work. But I don't know. Helgeson, unlucky there. You know what? I might just have to do it. I might just have to go all out. The good old all-out attack, ultra-attacking, whatever. I can't remember what it used to be called. feel like it was all out attack on the older games. They've changed it to very attacking in the last, I think it was 18 was the last one they had it. See, Arneson, poor, trying to get it to Lennon, who's done absolutely nothing since he's come on. Genuinely getting a bit concerned by this, and all of a sudden I'm very worried about the cup game we have coming up. One plus side is that KR currently are drawing with Stjarnan, so we're not really losing the league. I think we're still top by goal difference, which is helpful, because we're not getting anything out of this. This has been shocking. Absolutely shocking. Come on guys, last minute ditch. Bonderson, very unlucky. That was a fantastic save from the keeper. Did very well to keep hold of it as well. Take note, Sigurdsson. Okay, so Alexander down the wing again. He's certainly picked it up in the last few games. Granted, this game isn't shown in his best light, but he certainly has improved. And if I can keep hold of him, if Millwall let me keep hold of him, then I'll be absolutely ecstatic. No other word for it. Because I genuinely think he could be the player to sort of take us on to the next level, especially if the Champions League starts soon, like I'd hope it will do. Although it's still not showing up in the competitions tab. Is it? No, it is. It's there. Oh, hey, it's literally just started showing up. Oh, that's very exciting. Mikkelson's out for 8 weeks. Wow. Anderson's now getting a pay rise after that game. How? You were terrible. Absolutely terrible. Right, okay. So I'm going to stop the video there and I'll restart it at the start of the next game. And hopefully things can only get better. Okay, so we're back for the cup game against Breidablik. As you can see there, we're actually not the favourites to win this, which is concerning. That was actually the only game they've beaten us in, which I'm genuinely quite annoyed at. But, oh well. Some interesting news that has happened since the last match was we've been drawn in the Champions League. We've got Fhingar, who are from the Hungarian league. I do believe they are actually rated slightly higher than we are, so that's a little on the concerning side, but I don't think they're that much better. So I think with a good game, we might be alright. And we have 2 legs against them coming up reasonably soon, so I think it's safe to say the next video is going to be both of those games. So that'll be an interesting one. Hopefully then, if we do manage to somehow scrape our way through that, which I'll be very impressed at, I imagine the next game will be somewhere here in August, maybe. It could lead to a very interesting end to the season. Something else is Alexander's loan has been extended, which is fantastic news because, as I mentioned, it's something that I've really been pushing for, is having that actual dedicated striker to be. I want him there to lead the team. Hopefully he has a better game than he did last time, but we'll just have to wait and see. Part of me is thinking that it might actually be for the best if we do get knocked out here, given the Champions League fixtures we have coming up soon. I'd rather not be squeezing in some... Oof, that like it could have almost crept in. I'd rather not be squeezing in the 5th round or quarter-final, whichever one it is, of the cup, because we really don't win much for getting all the way through. And I think we only get prize money for actually winning it. And even then, I think it's about 10 grand, which... in the grand scheme of things, really isn't a lot. Alexander there, very unfortunate. We've already started a lot better than we did last game, so we're glad about that. We've had a few shots. We're sort of leaning on them in possession-wise. We have made a few personnel changes. I think Arneson's been dropped in favour of Sigurdsson, who last season mostly played as sort of the playmaker role whenever somebody was injured. Maybe it was him the entire season, actually. Actually, looking at the team there, it may have been Hardison that we were playing in the attacking in the playmaker role. Hopefully he can do a decent job for us today, because he's on now. But they're having a few shots here, which is a little bit concerning, but it's not too bad. Goodmanson, who's filling in at right back. I think purely because of the fixture congestion. Spraying out to the right. They are starting to get a few more attacking threats in. I haven't really seen many from us recently in the last 10 minutes or so. De Paula's breaking. Go on, son. Go on. Unlucky. Again, it's them. Oh. I don't know what it is that they've done to change, but they're really dominating us. I'm hoping to have Arneson back soon. I feel like we need that better keeper in that. Just I don't feel comfortable with Sigurdsson in goal. Might have to try and of course I can't. Might have to just try and give him a word of encouragement at half time and see if I can get him out of his little rut. I know he hasn't conceded yet, but that's the thing, it almost feels like it is a yet. Any shot they have on target, and I'm not confident that he'll save it. With Arneson, I've got a little bit of belief in him at least. And obviously he's still reasonably young. I think he's only about 23 maybe, which is obviously very young for a keeper. Can hopefully get a good 2 years out of him. Still got a good amount of potential, but Sigurdsson, I'm not seeing any real future personally. Okay, so De Paula, poor pass. Alexander's just not getting the service he needs. Here we go. Oh, Goodmanson. Oh, De Paula. Alexander. Oh, very unlucky. I don't know if that was a save or if it just hit the post or what. Okay, so they've obviously clawed it back in terms of possession, but it's not too bad. We'll be fine. Nobody's happy. I believe in you. Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. 20 motivating, and I can't get my players to do what I want them to do. Fantastic. Go on, Hegler. I was unlucky. Offside anyway, never mind. Okay, so 50 minutes in and nothing to really say. Hardison, De Paula. Oh, very poor pass. He might have to come off. He's just giving the ball away constantly in this match. He's Sverrisson again with a poor match. Bring on Helgeson and De Paula for Sadiku. I know Sadiku didn't have a great game last one, but hopefully this can be his little redemption. Okay, so Sigurdsson with a poor pass. Lennon has been booked for a little while. Sigurdsson, sorry. Oh, actually he saved it. Very good, very good. Okay, so we've made our changes. Hopefully this can just give us a little bit of solidity. And why have you just moved that out for a corner? Wow, okay. That's fine. Okay. So, it's just absolute constant pressure from them. Skork not really doing too much in the way of trying to tackle him. We're just sort of letting him have it. Can we... Let's try and be a bit more disciplined and let's get stuck in as well. Let's try and turn them off. See what I mean about Sigurdsson? You got a fingertip on it and it just wasn't. It was pretty poor. Pretty poor. We need. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like I said, I'd rather we went out, but Again, I'd rather not be showing the same defeat 2 games in a row on the same video. Oof. Absolutely no confidence. I was literally saying in the last match that I don't think strikers do well enough in one-on-ones, and for the first time in a while, I've seen them actually beat the keeper. Unfortunately for them, they beat the post as well, but still kind of proving my point. Alexander, Skog. Up to Lennon. Lennon, poor. Very, very poor. Can we move Lennon up top? And do I have anybody that could play on the wing? No. No. Right, Alexander, you're playing on the wing for the rest of the game. Not that you've done anything yet this one, but oh well. Well done, Helgeson. Skog, poor throw. Definitely saw that one coming. Oof. Okay. Okay, 75 minutes in. We've had 8 shots to their 17. Wow. It's just an absolute onslaught. This must be... Oh, wow. Come on, guys. I've been trying to train you to get better at defending set pieces, and it's just not working in the slightest. What more do I actually need to do? Do I need to get on the pitch and do it for you? Absolutely shocking. If I had the option, I'd be fining you all a week's wages after these games. It's just been absolutely disgusting. So bad. Wow. Right. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's only a cup match. But we're using the majority of our players, so it's not exactly what we're wanting. But yeah, this season seems to be like a giant 1 step forward, 2 steps back. As soon as I start getting a bit of form going, we just seem to crumble under the pressure. Look, what was that? That was a terrible pass. I should have taken my own advice and changed the formation. Tried to play 2 up top with a bit more defence, but live and learn. Maybe we just struggle against a 4-2-3-1 setup. Might have to try and make a formation to counter that, just in case something like that does happen. Oh, we do get 618 quid. Yeah, cheers guys. That'll won't even cover half the wages for some of the players. Oh well. On that note, very, very disappointing note, I'll call this video there, and like I said, the next one's going to be the Champions League game against Fhingar. I'm sure I've completely butchered the pronunciation of that, but oh well. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I also hope you enjoyed the little beginner's guide one. If you haven't watched it, I would very much recommend you do. Even if you aren't a beginner to the game, I feel like it could have just 1 or 2 little tricks tips I should say, that will help you in future in terms of trying to pick your next save. But okay, like I say, I'm going to end the game there, and I'll hope to see you next time. See you later, guys.